ocean. And we need to do a number of things here, one of which is stop the dumping of all waste, but particularly plastic, because once it gets into the ocean, it's escaped. We can't do anything with it. So ultimately, our aim as an NGO is to protect the environment, but particularly the ocean and the rivers that connect the two. The second issue is about people, particularly the impacts of plastic via the environment. So, for example, we know that plastic, if it's not well managed and taken to a reprocessor or recycled in some way, it will lead to, for example, blocked drainage systems that can lead to standing water in communities, and so we have disease risk coming from that, as well as flood risk from poor drainage. So that's just the physical presence of plastic in the environment. Similarly, where we have limited infrastructure for waste management, we know that there is a subsistence economy for waste collection, but also there's burning of plastic and other materials, and that's a really bad impact for human health. And we've seen mass waste burning. And of course, countries like the UK have been exporting the waste plastic that we can't treat to a range of countries around the world, and that practice is coming to an end, I'm very pleased to say. So what we don't want to be doing is exporting our problem to someone else to then deal with. And part of that then is a bit about how we then work with a whole range of other partners to ensure that the most challenged communities that don't have that infrastructure are able to manage the waste that they are generating, and hopefully trying to reduce it and recycle it and get value back. And that was kind of going well until COVID hit. And I think COVID has paused a lot of progress we've been making over the last few years. So it'd be interesting to understand from everybody on the call where COVID is, you're seeing a change to people wanting more packaging, for example, or whether that's now getting into the environments like the masks and gloves that we were seeing offshore in March and April. But then ultimately it's about solutions and how we create the impact. So moving from the ocean and the environmental impact and people, how do we drive through to solutions? And there's almost a unique set of solutions coming forward for a range of challenges through digital innovation. And we're really interested to see how this is working in sub-Saharan Africa and elsewhere for that matter. And it's about empowering communities to say no, to be able to reduce their plastic impact on themselves, maybe by having better packaging or packaging that's more readily recyclable. But actually, wherever packaging does come into their lives, is that they're able to have better ways of that collecting and managing. And digital innovation is one of the solutions that is coming to the fore. So for us, it's about how we define that challenge and how we can then find solutions that meet the challenge. My final point really is that many countries have plastic policies, and there's some really progressive policies coming from countries in Africa, and we're keen to see some of those perhaps land into the UK and into Europe. So I would cite Rwanda, which banned plastic bags straight up because of the impact it was causing. So really, but policies are great, but actually then how do policies land on the ground and what change does it make? So we're here to contribute our understanding and knowledge, but we're here also to learn from the project and see how digital innovation can make a big difference to the communities that are facing the plastic pollution. So I'll hand back to you, but thank you very much for the opportunity to share our thoughts. And we're really engaged with this project and look forward to hearing people's views. So I'll end there, but thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeff. So now I'll hand to Selma. If you can share your screen, please.
Good afternoon, colleagues. Thank you so much for this opportunity this afternoon. I'm going to talk on behalf of my partners, colleagues on the project, on the Beach Plastic Project. I haven't actually put all their names on, but I encourage each and every one of us to visit our website and just have a little bit look on who the partners are for this project. First of all, I want to start off with a very common expression that there is an elephant in the room. As we have just heard from the two speakers, this project is very beneficial to Africa. It allows African partners to network within and beyond in fighting this common enemy, this enemy of the plastic waste. And it will be able to ignite opportunities, gaps, and challenges to help us identify solution to this plastic waste problem. I was just going into the website of one of the Namibian recycling forum, and on their introductory page, they indicated that Namibia's population might be small, but our waste problem is huge. And I believe that the same can be said for nations of any size too. Could we say that this is a pandemic? Perhaps because we have not seen immediate death tolls. That's why we are mute about this. But surely this is a huge problem, an elephant in the room. And when an elephant is in the room, I put an expression there, it is not easy to tackle alone, but one will need others for us to be able to tackle. And I'm just glad that, Jeff, you mentioned the issue of the effects of the COVID. One of the pictures there is just indicating how the masks, the disposed masks are lying around, contributing to the problem. I was equating this role player aspect to solving this problem to the Big Five in an African national park per se. If you have the Big Five in a national park, then believe me, you have a high value. And that is why we are looking in the same lens of engagement involving different sectors. For example, our Big Five in terms of networking could be